It's another cold and wet, miserable day in Melbourne today, but it is definitely time for another painting. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is Mundy, this is Mundy Fox Art, and today I'm going to do another diptych. So two paintings at the same time, but this time I'm going to do double bling. I have never done that before, so this will be interesting. So I'll show you the colours that we're going to do. I'm going to use Ultramarine Deep and Orange, so that should be kind of wild and woolly. Of course, I'm going to use some Harbour Night or Paynes Gray just to add some depth, and I've just made up some more of this because I nearly ran out last time. And I'm going to use copper and gold because, you know, double bling, why not? And of course, we're going to put it on a pillow of some Taubman's house paint in white. So, looking forward to doing this. I'm going to change my camera angle. See you in a bit. Okie dokie, here we go. So, as usual, some Taubman's house paint. And I will do these pretty much exactly the same, or as close to as I can, you know, without actually marking things on the paper or weighing out the paint. But the difference that I'm going to do between these two paintings is that even though I'm going to use both well, copper and gold, I'll use swipe in one direction for one painting and in another direction for the other, and let's see what that does, because, you know, it's always a surprise. Ugh, make a mess without even putting any paint on it. Anyway, let's do a bit of that. I'm trying to go over the pillow as well as just on the canvas. And now some Ultramarine Deep, which is really remarkably purple, but that'll be good. A bit like that. And there we go. Let's put the copper on. I'll need to shake that first. And of course, the gold. And last but not least, the newly mixed up Harbour Night or Paynes Gray. And maybe look, just a smidge in there, because we can. Looking remarkably abstract anyway, without doing anything. Right, and now for the cell activator, the titanium white, or very specifically Amsterdam titanium white. And in this way, I think I'm going to go across like so. And then maybe, again on the bottom, I think. Right, so we've done a diagonal, and we'll do that again in this general direction and see what interesting things it does in that way. And then I think I'm going to go in completely the opposite direction with this painting. I don't have to be too pedantic this time because the colours are exactly the same, whereas previous one that I did. One was silver, one was gold, and that was very tricky to try and not mix the things up. Anyway, let's see what happens here. Not too sure about this yet, but hey, you can never tell what things are going to do. All right, here we go. I seem to have lost a little bit of the purple with the swipes, but that's okay. We'll just move it around carefully. See, I think I might lose a bit of the gold too, actually, but look, let's be careful. Really don't want to lose that purple. Be a real shame actually, so we'll make it go this way and see what happens. Right. Using my glove to, you know, fill in the bits of paint that are not flowing as well as they could or should. But anyway, what's that looking like? Oh, not bad actually. Oh, I quite like it so far. All right, but let's move things over this way because it's really not pouring over the edge yet. There we go. There we go. Oh, no. See, in my effort not to lose the purple, I've sort of stopped it from pouring over, which we really don't want to do that. So let's see if we can make it drip just a bit more. There we go. Still not 100% right, but better than it was. Surprising amount of white that's showing through. I think, of course, that's the pillow, but it's going to add some interesting dynamics to it all. All right, so that I think is pretty much it. So that's, I'm just going to put that there, but I'll move it in a minute when I've finished doing this one. So bear with. It's amazing, isn't it? Exactly the same color. Exactly the same amount of paint, but just the only difference is the way I've swiped it. And of course this one does get to sit around a little bit longer with the cell activator before it moves, and that always changes things too. Now look, I've completely lost the purple so far, so I'm going to have to try and bring it back. Oh, here we go. See if I can maybe see that a little bit more. Right, so I'm pulling the purple back because I really don't want to lose that, otherwise it's a bit boring. It's only, you know, orange. So at least we've got a little bit of the purple coming back now, so that's useful. But again, I've got the same problem here with it not flowing over the edge so well. So let me see if I can pull it back. All right, flowing. Sort of, kind of, but ooh, really don't want to lose the purple, so we'll push it back the other way. Right, can you see that? There we go. Pulling the purple back so you can, yeah. All right, well, I think that's all the edges and sides covered. I'm just going to put the two of them back together again. How remarkably different they both are. So let me just get rid of my gloves. And say my usual bit of see you in a couple of days after I let these dry in front of either or both the fan and the heater. Catch you soon. And we're back. As usual, it's been a couple of days, but actually I should have done it the other way around, but this is how it looked in the last shots. So this is the first one I did, and apologies for calling the colour purple. It isn't actually, it's Ultramarine Blue, but it's mixed in, of course, with the Paynes Gray, and it's become a delicious dark kind of black, yeah, kind of purple. Look at all this fantastic cell work at the bottom. I like that a lot. And then of course it's quite different with this one. This is the second one that it had been sitting around for a little while before I actually stretched and poured. But remarkably different, isn't it, considering they were done exactly the same time, just different ways of swiping. So there they are. So I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed doing them. Please like, subscribe. Oh, look at that lovely silver. Yes, please like, subscribe, share, all of that. Don't forget to enjoy your own painting, and I will see you again soon.